Can you see the screen, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students, in last class we were discussing about functions. Functions, how the function is used in the HTML and JavaScript program. And I was about to explain the program example. So I told in the next class I'll explain the program. So now one or two examples we'll see up for the functions in JavaScript. Yes, students, in last class, I told you one point that the JavaScript definition in the function definition should be in the header tag. It is not necessary. It is optional. It is not. It is optional. It is not necessary that you have to write the Java function definition in the JavaScript. You can see this example, but the function definition should be in the script tag. The function definition should be in the script tag, and you can the calling of a function you can directly call in the body tag, or using the input tag also you can call in the input tag. When you take a button, inside the button also you can display, you can call the function. See here I have taken a, yes, you understood now. In last class I told the definition of a function should be present in the header tag. It is not necessary, it is not compulsory, it is optional. You can, but the function definition should be in the script tag, because it is a JavaScript code, so it should be present in a script tag. And calling of a function, you can directly call the function in the body tag, or you can make use of a input tag to call the function or to call the method. This is a simple simple program to demonstrate a function. Yes, students, in last class when I was explaining the output prompts, dialog boxes, we have seen command prompt, confirm, and alert window. In alert window we were displaying the square root of a given number. The alert window is used to display it. It is not compulsory that we are using to display only the numbers. In alert message you can display any message. In alert window you can display any message, hello, good morning, whatever the message. Sometimes in when you visit websites, a registration website, or ticket booking website, or a hotel room booking website, so if you do any mistake, immediately the alert message will come now. So that also using JavaScript you can implement. Using JavaScript only they might have implemented that alert message in those applications. Here also I'm using a same alert window to display the message. Here, see here, this is a simple function. According to the syntax, the function, yes students, if you have any confusion you can ask me in my statement. If you have any confusion you can ask. So this is a function, and this is a function name. Message is a function name, and this is a this parameter list are optional. If any parameter lists are there, then you can include the parameter list. If no parameter list, then just a parenthesis we write. Here just I'm displaying a message that is hello, this is message. So some text I'm displaying here. No usage of any, or here we are not using any parameters. So there is no parameters in this function. What I'm doing, I'm using this alert window. I'm calling this alert window. I'm using this alert window, alert dialog box. In the alert dialog box I am displaying the message that is hello, this is message. And this function where I'm calling, yes students, one more example I'll show you. See here, this is your lab program. Here this fib is a function. Here in the body tag I have called this fib function, correct? Like this also you can call. And in this present example, this is here using a input tag. In input tag, I have taken the button. When you click on the button, when you click on the button, then this method will be called. Which method? MSG method will be called. MSG method will be called. When it calls that, when this on click calls that MSG method, so whatever the statements are written there, it will display that. It will display that. What are the message? What are the messages? That is just we have used alert window. Just we have used alert. Alert, hello, this is message. So I'll run this program. The input tag I have taken. So in the input tag, the button is there. In the input tag, button is there. So button is, so the name of a button is there. The call, when you click on when I click on this button, so what it is displaying, this function, when I click, this will be called. This function will be, this MSG function will be called. In MSG function, what I have written? Alert. In the alert box, I have written some message. So that message it is displaying. Yes, students? Understood? It is a simple program. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
One more example, students. In the previous example, I was just displaying a message. In the previous example, I was just displaying the message. And in this example, what I am doing, this is a function. The previous example, in the previous example, just I was displaying the message. Yes, and there I was from the body of the program, or from the input tag, no value was passing to this function, but so there was no parameters. Now I have a parameter, that is number. What is this number? We don't know what is this number, but in the alert window we are calculating the cube of that number. If the number value is 1, so 1 into 1 into 1. If the number value is 2, 2 into 2 into 2. So how many times we are multiplying? 3 times we are multiplying. So this is the logic, or this is statement what we are what we have written in the function. Then coming to this input tag. In the input tag, what I have taken, the type is button. See, value click. See, whatever we are writing for the value, so that this whatever we write here, that label will be displayed on the button. In the previous example, I wrote call function. So call function was displaying. See here, call function. The value I have written call function. Now in this example, the value what I have written is click. Means the button name will be click. Then on click is equal to get cube. Get cube is what? The method. Get cube is a method or the function. Correct, no? And I have a parameter. That is number. So what value I have given? 4. So 4 it will be assigned to, passed to this get cube function. So now the output should be 4 into 4 into 4 cube. 4 is 16. 16 into 4. How much?
64.
64. The output should be 64. We'll execute and see what will be the output. See, click. See here, the output is here only, student. For first example, the output is call function, and for the second example, the button name is click. What value it is taking? The value in place of value in the input tag for the variable value, whatever the name I have given or whatever the text I have given, the word I have given, that it will take as a button name. Yes, students, button name it will take. So click on that. So it is displaying 64. It's displaying 64. Click on OK. So next we have DOM. DOM stands for Document Object Model. DOM stands for Document Object Model. So Document Object Model, it is very important. This we are using in a JavaScript program. In JavaScript program, we are using this DOM. So DOM or Document Object Model, a programming interface. It is a programming interface specification developed by W3C. It is developed by W3C. W3C means World Wide Web Consortium. So they have developed this DOM. A DOM is a browser's internal programmatic representation of a web page and can be manipulated using languages like JavaScript. This DOM is manipulated by the programming language like JavaScript, and a set of hierarchical collection of objects and elements are there in the DOM. And the main thing is the W3C. The W3C means World Wide Web Consortium. The Document Object Model is a platform and it is a language interface that allows, students listen carefully, means this DOM is a platform that allows programs and script to dynamically access and update the content, structure and style of a document. So DOM, we all know that using a JavaScript you can develop a dynamic web page. So this DOM is a platform and language neutral interface that allows programs and scripts to dynamically access and update the content, structure and style of a document. So this DOM, we understood why we are using DOM. So DOM is a platform and it is a language neutral interface that allows programs and scripts to dynamically access and update the content, structure and style of a document. And where the DOM has came from, the browsers were often in late 1990s. The war between Netscape Navigator and the Microsoft Internet Explorer. So they both have developed this DOM there was a browser war between Netscape and Microsoft in the year 1996. Netscape Navigator 2. They have developed this DOM level 0. Sir, yes, there are levels are there, students. DOM 0, DOM 1, DOM 2. Up to DOM 2 levels are there. So in the year 1996, they have developed the first level of DOM, that is DOM level 0 or legacy DOM. The name may be the name is DOM level 0 or legacy DOM. That was developed in the year 1996, and in late 1998 and in 2000 they have introduced DOM level 1 and level 2. In the year 2005, large part of W3C DOM were well supported by common ECMA script enabled browser. This is important. how the web pages are loaded and displayed. Yes, students, how I don't know what is HTML. I don't know what is the full form of HTML. Then I don't have book also, and I how I'll get to know what is HTML, what is the full form of HTML. Nowadays, if you ask my kid also, she will tell that whatever whatever you don't know, you just Google, you search in YouTube. Even the small kids are also small kids also knows this to Google, and whatever the information, if we don't know, if you browse, then quickly we can get the answer. So how we do that? We send a request to the server. Correct, no? I don't know what is the full form of HTML. Nobody is there to tell me. Nobody is there to teach me. Nobody is there to help me to understand what is HTML, or what is the full form of HTML, or how to work with a HTML program. See, I'm using a simple method. I'm just taking a notepad. I'm just taking many of you are using Notepad++. You're using, and others many are using other tools also you are using, but I'm using a basic method. That is a easy method I'm using. I'm just taking a notepad. I'm taking a notepad, and there I am typing my program. I'm typing my program, and I'm saving with a .html extension, and I'm running on the web pages browser. I'm running on the browser. So here in this DOM, here how the web pages are loaded and displayed. Technically, there are 4 steps of a web page being displayed. So how when I don't know what is HTML, or when I don't know what is DOM, or when I don't know what is W3C, what is the full form of W3C, what we do? Quickly we will browse. We send in the browser, we send a request. Correct, no? In the browser, we send a request. Oh yeah. So what we do? So this in the browser, what is W3C? I don't know what is this W3C. So what I am doing, students, I am requesting the server. Correct, no? I am requesting the server. What is this? W3C. And this is in this web page, there are so many answers are there for this. What is W3C? Correct, no? There are so many answers, and not only in one page, it's so many pages are there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and after 10 also next 11, 12. So many pages are there. Yes, these are the answers for my request. These are the answers for my request. For my request, these are all the responses. The answers are nothing but the responses. The answers are nothing but the responses I am getting from the browser. Correct, no? So technically, there are 4 steps of a web page being displayed: request, response, build, and render. Each of these steps are often performed several times during a page load. Yes, when you browse something, it is most common that will not browse a single word. Will not once I get what is the full form of a W3C, then I'll not close the browser. I'll not close the browser. Next, it is the human tendency that we'll start searching some other words also. In W3C, if I get to know, if any technical term, catchy technical term, if I see, then even I want to find the meaning of that. Next, while searching the meaning of that, some more information, some other information also if I get, then to know about more, again I Google that. Again, I start Googling. Again, I start asking the request. So when we use this browser, many times we are using this request, response, build, and render. So each of these steps means the steps are request, response, build, render. So each of these steps are often performed several times during a page load. The request. The most common way a web page is requested when a link is clicked, but a request also occurs when a page is refreshed. Yes, many times we refresh the page. How? What I do is, once I complete this your class, so every class I record. Yes, students, every class we all are recording now. So this record will be sent to our mail ID. So after, it will take some time, after 10 minutes, or sometimes if it is more than 1 hour, so it will take 15 minutes. So what I do every time I refresh. Sometimes it will not immediately reflect in the in inbox page. So I keep on refreshing the page. So immediately I'll come to know whether the the record mail has received or not. So even that is also refreshing is my inbox is also nothing but a request. And or when a URL is typed into a browser. So when you are typing something in the URL, that is also a request. Just now I have written no. What is W3C? So I was typing in the URL. First I typed Google in the URL. Correct, student? That is also a request I am giving to the server. That is also request I am giving to the server. The most common way a web page is requested when a link is clicked, but a request also occur when a page is refreshed or when a URL is typed into a browser. The moment when a web page is requested is also called navigation start. When you request some page, this is also called as navigation start. So it is redirecting. See here. See this in the see students, what I did. First I typed Google here. So in the URL I typed Google. So when here I have typed what is W3C. So it is redirecting me to, it is navigating me to the next page, no? Yes. It is navigating me to the next page. Again here in this response here, so many navigations are there. So I'm going to the other page. I'm going to the other page. It is basically the moment where the whole process of displaying a page begins. The here the whole process of displaying begins. When a link is clicked, the request is made for a document. Yes, when a link is clicked, then it will be a request for the document. See here, just now what I did, I have clicked on the link. Yes, you can. These are all the links only. When you put your mouse pointer, see, when you are putting your mouse pointer here, the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, is an international community where members organization. See, when I am putting my mouse pointer on these text, the hand symbol is not coming, students. If it is a hand symbol is coming, means it is a hyperlink. It is a navigation. But when I put my mouse pointer here on this World Wide Web Consortium bracket W3C, so it shows the navigation. It shows the navigation. When I'm clicking on this, then it is going to the detailed page. Correct? It is going to the detailed page. So when a link is clicked, the request is, so here there what I'm doing, I am making the request. I'm requesting to go to the detailed page. Correct? Yes, students. response. The response is, students, what happened? Hey, students, am I audible? You're listening?
Yes, ma'am.
So response is nothing but a answer which I get from the browser. Sometimes what we do, we do spelling mistake. We do spelling mistake. If in the spelling mistake, if we are missing a last letter, or if any minor mistake in the spelling, then the browser itself will give you a response or give you an answer that, do you mean this? Do you mean that? So do you mean this? So it will show. So that is also a response we are getting from the browser. Correct, no? So if you just XYZ something you have typed, then when the browser doesn't know what is the meaning of that, then it will not show any result. Definitely you have experienced that. See, students, I have done a mistake. See, what is W3E I have written? Actually, it is what is W3C. What is W3C? So what the browser is, see, this is my request, and this is my request, and these are all the responses I am getting from the browser. Responses I am getting from the browser. About in the browser or in the server, what is W3E is not there. That meaning is not present, but they have the meaning of this W3C. So related to that, whatever the data is available in the server, that it will display as a response. So when I clicked on that W3C, even in the URL also, it has changed. Even in the URL also, it has changed. So this is nothing but a response. The web server then provides the file to the web browser. The response is simply the browser receiving the thing it had requested. So whatever we have requested, so based on that, the reply it will give to us. It will give to us. However, most web pages have things like images, videos, flash movies, external CSS, external JavaScript file. So most the web pages what we are requesting, so it has things like images, videos, flash movies, CSS, and JavaScript file. These are called resources, and in order to display the web page, the web browser must get those pages resources as well. So whatever the request we are sending, for that request to give some reply, they need this images, videos, flash movies, external CSS, and external JavaScript file. See, students, see this diagram. See here, this see here, this is a user. The user make a request. So here the user is making the request, the web browser request document, and this is a server. This is a server. From the server, whatever the information is available, that we are getting as a response. The information we are getting as a response from the browser. Yes, the same thing is happening now. The same thing we are going to learn in ASP.NET also, students. When you there in ASP.NET also, using ASP.NET also, you can develop a web page. You can develop a web pages. There also the same. You are going to there you have a hierarchical structure for or architecture of ASP.NET. There also we are going to study the same thing, that is a request response. Next we have parsing. What is the meaning of parsing? So in many of the other programming language also we heard this parsing. So whatever the statements we write as a program, so that will not be understood by the compiler. So it will be the program or the statements will be passed in the compiler understandable language. That is nothing but a parsing. I think in Unix you have studied parser. Yes, students. If you whatever the English statements we are writing, those numbers, those statements are not understandable by the compiler. So the instructions are parsed, and those after passing, the instructions are machine understandable language, and based on that we are getting the result. Based on that we are getting the result. So this parsing is nothing but that translate the HTML into a series of recognizable tokens. So the whatever we are writing in a HTML document, so that will be translated into a machine understandable or series of recognizable tokens. So whichever the tokens the machine will recognized in that recognizable form, the machine will the token it will be translated, the code will be translated. The web browser looks at the entire HTML document and looks for any CSS, JavaScript and images that are referenced by the pages. So the web browser takes care of all this, the CSS file, the JavaScript, the images, the HTML document. The images, CSS and JavaScript, that the HTML file reference will be downloaded by the browser. Those files are downloaded by the browser. The main job is to recognize token into tree of related object. So the main job is to recognize into a tree structure of a related object. So see here, the web browser reads a HTML file to find the resources. The browser request found resources from the server. So whatever the request we are see how we are sending a request, students, in the browser only. With the browser only we are sending a request. Without browser we cannot send any request. We cannot do any request for the resource to find any resources. Just now I told I don't know what is W3C. In my laptop if I don't have any browser, then how I send a request? Yes, how I send a request? Without browser I cannot send a request. So once I get a browser, through the browser I request for the resource. If that resource is available in the server, then it will be displayed on the web page or the browser. If any information is not getting, if the related information is not getting, then it will not show any error. Or if it, just now I wrote W3E, but W3E we don't have in the resource in the server, that information is not available. But it will ask, do you want, or is it related to W3C? So if you click on yes, then it will display the message, or it will display the content, or it will display the information whatever related to W3C. Students, anybody unmuted? I'm getting some disturbance sound. So build, there are basically 3 steps that the browser takes to build a page. The browser takes 3 steps to build a page. That is build DOM, build CSS OM, build rendered tree. We'll see here. Building DOM. Yes, students, can you see this diagram? Can you see this? Yes, students, can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the hierarchical structure of your HTML program. HTML. This HTML is divided into two components, that is head tag and body tag. Head tag and body tag. This head tag has meta tag and title tag. You cannot write a meta tag and title tag within the head tag, students. You cannot write title tag and meta tag within the body tag. And when I was explaining this meta tag, what is this meta tag? What is this meta tag? Forgot. Did I explain or not? I think I have not explained. Correct.
Meta tag is to just describe the program. It will not come in the output.
Yes, correct. So meta tag
contains the information about the document.
Yes, it contains the information about the program or about the document, and this meta tag contains the additional information about the program. And this meta, whatever the statements you write in the meta tag, it will not display on the it will not display as a output, or it will not display on the web page. The content will not be displayed in the web page, and it is just for the reference. The meta tag is used just for the reference. It contains the additional information about the program. It may be the author. It may be the number of authors have how many authors have written this program, how many if it is any project, how many team members are there to develop this project, and what type of tools and technologies you have used, whether you have used a CSE inline CSS or external style CSS, which technologies you have used, whether you have used Notepad++ or only Notepad, some related information, some additional information if you want to give about the program, you can give using a meta tag. So here the main HTML program is divided into two component, head tag and the body tag. In the head tag we write meta tag and title tag, and in the body tag we write image tag, paragraph tag, bold tag, italic tag. Here I can write so on and so on, because here I can write table tag, ordered list, unordered list. Yes, so many things I can write. So the rendering machine will then use that tree of object to determine where we position element or the screen. So here we write in the tree structure, we will come to know what is the position on the output screen, or where is the position of an element in the output screen. See, students, if I write any information in the body tag, then it will be displayed on the web page. Correct? No? If I write any information in the meta tag, then that information will not be displayed on the web page. Correct? No? So here we'll determine where the position element on the screen. We determine where the position element on the screen. The developer then able to use JavaScript to interact with tree of related objects through number of properties and methods. The JavaScript, the developers are able to interact with the tree structure, and each object inherit at the point it was instantiated. So here you can in the header tag you cannot inherit body tag. So wherever it is necessary, you can inherit the element. So in the meta tag, you cannot inherit the paragraph tag. Correct, no? In the title tag, you cannot inherit image tag. So according to the syntax, according to the structure, wherever those elements should be present, only in those places we can include those elements. This is one small example, students, according to the structure. So title first, the doc type HTML, head tag, under head tag the title tag, and after title tag the script tag. Here we are using the second method to implement the JavaScript, that is indirect way. Here I have not written a JavaScript code. In script 13.javascript, in that file I have written a JavaScript code, and here in the script tag I am calling that. Yes, students, correct? No, here we are calling that. In the JavaScript introduction, I told that the JavaScript tag can be implemented in two ways: direct way and indirect method. Direct method and indirect method. Indirect method, directly we write the code in the script tag, whereas in indirect method or in indirect way, the file will be created with a .js extension, and that will be called in the HTML file. So here we have used a second method, and in the body tag, head tag, paragraph tag, input tag, and the hyperlink tag, and even here the div tag, div tag is also there. So this is just a simple program according to the structure. This is a hierarchical example of a document object model. Document h1, div tag, paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph. In the form tag, the input tag. What is node? The DOM represent document as a hierarchy of node object that also implement others more specialized interface. The element node, text node, here we have a node. A DOM represent document has as a hierarchy of a node object that also implement others. It also implements the other node also, more specialized interface. Element node, it contains the HTML tags. Text node, it contains the text, and the text node are contained in the element node. So here we have some nodes. That is, the element node contains the HTML tag, text node contains the text, and the text nodes are contained in the element nodes. So when you see the example, you'll get a clear idea. Here some of the text are text we are adding to the page, adding some text to a page, that is create a new element. What is document, students? What is document? What is document?
HTML page.
HTML page. So the here in JavaScript, this I already explained. In JavaScript, we have um, the window object has two properties, that is document and window. Document and window, which refers to the document and window objects respectively. And the document object has a method. The document object has a method, that is write. So write method it has. So why we are using this write method? To display the content on the, to create a content on the web page. So here I have written which dynamically creates content. Which hello, हाँ sir, sir ಇಲ್ಲ sir. So here we were using a document.write to create dynamically to create the content in the web page. Here we are creating a new element, that is document dot create element p. This p is nothing but a p tag. This p is in the when I was explaining some other programs, there was some document dot get element by id, document dot create element statements were there. I told you I'll explain you later, correct? No, I just explained the logic of the program. Here we have some of the elements which we are using in the JavaScript. Class kanda. So here we have some of the text which we add in the document. Create a new element, create a text node, create and find a existing element. So here students, when you want to create a new element, we write like this: document dot create element, document dot create element, document dot create element. So when you want to create a new text, what we write? Document dot create text node. Yes student, this is all just theory. When we actually implement all these things in the program, only then you will get a clear idea. Create a text node, document dot create text node. So some text will be created. Then attach the new text node to the new element. So when you are attaching or when you are appending the new element, when you are appending, or append is nothing but adding. Append is nothing but adding or adding. So to add a new element, we use new node dot append child. Append means add. Add child new text. Find an existing element. To already the element is present. Already the element is present. To find the existing element, we use document dot get element by ID. So by ID we search. By ID we search. So the location. So these are all the some of the text which we use, and the best way to get the element, get element by ID. So get element by ID method we have. It allows you to work with elements by their individual ID, by their individual ID. But often you want to work with a group of element. Often you want to work with a group of element. So the example is where click me button is equal to document dot get element by ID click me. So when you click on this button, so with that ID, whatever the instructions we are writing, that will be called. That will be called. The get element by tag name. So it allows you to work with group of element. This method returns an array. Yes, students, see here, when I explained you this pattern matching program, your USN and semester matching program, I just explained you this logic, correct? No, here we have the text, we have the input tags, we have the input tag, the input tag for USN, the input tag for semester. Yes, correct? Yes, students.
Yes, ma'am.
So two input tags we have. So here, one minute, students. Yes, students, I'll stop here the explanation of that get element by ID. Anyway, afternoon I have lab, no? After this lunch break, I'll explain there. Okay, students? Yes, understood. All of you understood how we use DOM, why we use DOM, and what are the page loads we are using, request, response, build. Understood, students? The hierarchical structure, how the hierarchical structure, why I have made two sections, head tag and body tag. Any doubt, students? Answer attendance 1. Annaga.
Yes, ma'am.
2. 2, 3, 4,
Yes, ma'am.
5, 6,
Yes, ma'am.
7,
Present, ma'am.
8,
Yes, ma'am.
9,
Present, ma'am.
10, 11,
Yes, ma'am.
12,
Present, ma'am.
13,
Present, ma'am.
14,
Present, ma'am.
15, 16,
Present, ma'am.
17,
Present, ma'am.
18,
Present, ma'am.
19.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm present.
Abhilash is absent, no? 2 is not there. 20,
Present, ma'am.
21,
Present, ma'am.
22,
Present, ma'am.
23, 24,
Yes, ma'am.
25,
Present, ma'am.
26,
Present, ma'am.
27,
Present, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
28,
Lavanya.
okay, 28,
Present, ma'am.
29,
Present, ma'am.
30,
Yes, ma'am.
31,
Present, ma'am.
32,
Present, ma'am.
33,
Present, ma'am.
34,
Present, ma'am.
35,
Yes, ma'am.
36,
Present, ma'am.
37,
Yes, ma'am.
38,
Present, ma'am.
39,
Ma'am, she's present, ma'am.
40,
Yes, ma'am.
41,
Present, ma'am.
42,
Present, ma'am.
43, 43, Santosh, 44,
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
yeah, okay. 45,
Present, ma'am.
46,
Present, ma'am.
47,
Present, ma'am.
48,
Ma'am.
49,
Present, ma'am.
50,
Present, ma'am.
51, 52, 51 absent, huh? '51. Sri Vishnu,
Ma'am, present, ma'am. Mic issue, ma'am. 51.
53.
Ma'am, 52.
Ah, yeah,
52.
52. 53.
Present, ma'am.
54.
Present, ma'am.
55.
Present, ma'am.
56.
Present, ma'am.
57.
Present, ma'am.
58.
Present, ma'am.
59.
Present, ma'am.
The students, I'll stop here. We'll meet at 1:45 for lab.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
Ma'am, you have assigned the output of 5, 5th, and 6th in the Google Classroom. So,
Yes.
so by when we need to submit it, or
Still sixth program we have not completed, no? But
Yes, ma'am.
in the same folder, but that's why I have not given any deadline for that. Just I have
okay, ma'am.
created.
So
Later I may forget. That's why I have created, because for
Okay.
each program one assignment, no. So that's why for fifth and sixth from now onwards, two program one in a single assignment will do.
okay, ma'am. So we'll submit both the programs together.
After executing sixth program, you submit.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Okay,
Ma'am,
students.
Zayan present, ma'am.
Sorry, appa. Okay, students. See you at 1:45.